Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, how are your kidneys doing right now? Not your heart, not your lungs, not your joints or your back, but those two quiet organs tucked beneath your ribs, the ones you rarely feel, rarely hear about, and often forget. Because here's the hard truth. You can live a long time without knowing they're struggling. The pain doesn't come first. The silence does. And by the time you notice something is wrong, it may already be serious. That's why this isn't just a video. It's a gentle but urgent invitation to check in with a part of your body that works harder than you imagine and asks for less than it deserves. Your kidneys filter 50 gallons of blood a day, remove, waste, regulate fluids, keep your bones strong, control your blood pressure, and even produce hormones, all in the background, all without applause, until the day they can't anymore. So, today, we won't wait for a crisis. We'll uncover the 7 signs your kidneys are doing well, subtle reassuring signals that these quiet organs are still standing guard over your health. And in doing so, you'll learn how to honor them, protect them, and keep them strong through the years. Because if you're over 50, this is no longer optional, it's personal. Let's start with the first gentle sign. Your urine is consistently pale yellow, clear, and without strong odor. You might think this is just a detail, but it's not. Your urine is one of the clearest windows into kidney health. When your kidneys are functioning well, they strike a balance between conserving and releasing water. They filter your blood, remove waste, and keep just enough fluid in your body. And that light straw-colored urine, it means your kidneys are not just removing toxins, they're managing hydration beautifully. There's no froth, which would suggest protein loss. There's no brown, dark yellow, or reddish tint that might point to bleeding, dehydration, or disease. There's no pungent ammonia-like smell screaming of infection. Just a quiet, healthy stream, day after day. But here's where it becomes emotional. Because how many times have you ignored that tiny signal, rushed through your day without noticing, or worse, chalked up changes in your urine to just getting older? Your body is always speaking. And your kidneys, they're the poets of your bloodstream. The color of your urine is their verse. The second sign, you're not constantly swollen in your ankles, feet, or hands. Now, aging comes with its share of puffiness, yes. But your kidneys are responsible for maintaining your fluid balance. When they're healthy, they keep the right amount of sodium, potassium, and water in your system. They don't let fluid build up in your tissues like a slow flood. If your shoes fit fine at the end of the day, if your rings slip on and off without resistance, if you can press your finger into your shin without leaving a dent, that's not just good luck. That's kidney strength. It means your body is moving fluid efficiently, not hoarding it out of confusion. You might not celebrate your lack of swelling, but today I want you to. Because it's easy to ignore what doesn't hurt. But absence of discomfort is its own miracle. A sign that deep inside your kidneys are still watching over every drop of water you take in and every ounce that needs to go. The third sign is one you may not expect. Your blood pressure is stable even if you're not on heavy medication. Here's the hidden link. Your kidneys and your blood vessels are in constant conversation. Every minute they adjust how much sodium you keep, how much water you retain, and how much of a hormone called renin is released to tell your arteries how tight or relaxed they should be. So when your kidneys are working well, your blood pressure often follows suit. Not perfectly, there are many factors. But a steady, healthy range without dangerous spikes or crashes, that's a strong signal. And here's the emotional layer. Blood pressure issues often creep in as we age, and they're not always blamed on the kidneys. But when kidneys start to fail, hypertension isn't a symptom, it's often the cause. It's like a fire that starts behind the wall. You don't see the flames until the damage is done. But if your readings have stayed steady and you're not relying on multiple drugs to keep them there, your kidneys may be playing a silent but vital role in keeping your entire system in balance. Now let's talk about energy, that beautiful, unpredictable force that determines how much of life you get to participate in. Here's the fourth sign you wake up with energy and you don't crash too hard in the middle of the day. That may sound vague, but stay with me. Your kidneys don't just filter toxins, they also produce a hormone called erythropoietin, or EPO. This hormone tells your bone marrow to make red blood cells the carriers of oxygen. Without it, you develop anemia. You feel weak, tired, cold. Everything feels harder. So when your energy is consistent, when you can walk upstairs without needing to sit down when you make it to dinner time, without shutting down, that is kidney health. It means your red blood cells are being replenished. Oxygen is circulating. Your body is not only surviving, it's sustaining itself. So the next time you feel good, for no reason, pause. That no reason might be two tiny kidneys doing their job with silent grace. The fifth sign is visible if you know where to look. Your skin is clear and your nails are healthy. Why? Because when kidneys struggle, toxins build up in your bloodstream. That overload doesn't just affect your insides, it starts to show up on the outside. Dry, itchy skin, discoloration, fragile nails that peel and crack, rashes, in some cases even a gray or yellow cast to the skin. But when your kidneys are clearing out waste effectively, your skin often reflects that balance. It glows. Your nails grow at a steady rate. They're smooth, not ridged or brittle. And again, you might have dismissed these things as genetics or coincidence. But your skin is an organ too. And when it's healthy, it's often a sign that your inner filtration system is still protecting you from the inside out. So why do these small signs matter so much? Because kidney disease doesn't announce itself with a bang, it whispers. And if you've made it this far in life without major kidney issues, that's not a reason to relax, it's a reason to double down, to protect what's working, to cherish what hasn't failed you. Because kidneys are loyal until they're not. And when they go quiet, the consequences are anything but. In the next section, we'll uncover the remaining two signs your kidneys are still on your side, and then we'll pivot. We'll explore the foods that help you keep them that way. Not miracle cures, not internet fads, but real, whole, delicious foods that support your kidneys day in and day out, especially after 50. But first, take a moment. Think back to your last week. Were your feet swollen? Did your urine seem normal? Did your skin glow? Did you feel strong climbing the stairs? These are not just check boxes. They are whispers from your body. And the more you listen, the more you can protect the life still flowing through you. In the quiet moments of your day, maybe while sipping tea or folding laundry, you might not realize your kidneys are working. But they are. Always. Every second they're filtering blood, balancing your minerals, helping your body release what it no longer needs. And yet they never demand your attention, never complain. That's why now more than ever is the time to notice. Because you've already learned 5 powerful signs that your kidneys are still standing strong. But we're not done yet. Let's move to sign number 6, one that hides in plain sight. Your appetite and sense of taste remain stable and enjoyable. You may not think taste has anything to do with your kidneys, but here's what few people know: when kidney function starts to decline, waste products like urea build up in your blood. That changes how food tastes. Many people describe a metallic or bitter flavor in their mouth. Others say their favorite foods start to seem dull or even repulsive. And that loss of taste is often followed by a loss of appetite. It's subtle at first. You might blame it on stress, aging, or the weather. But in reality, it can be your body signaling that toxins are lingering too long, that filtration is breaking down. So when your meals still taste vibrant, when food smells inviting, when you can savor your favorites without a strange aftertaste, that's a gift. That's a message from your kidneys. We've got this. Keep feeding us well. The 7th and final sign is one you may never have connected to your kidneys, and yet it may be the most physically tangible of all. You're not experiencing pain or discomfort in your lower back or sides. Now let's be clear, not all back pain is kidney related. But your kidneys sit just under your rib cage toward the back on either side of your spine. When something goes wrong, like stones infections or inflammation, that's where the pain usually shows up. It can be a dull ache, a sharp stab, or even a heavy soreness you can't quite explain. Sometimes it radiates to the abdomen, sometimes it's just a quiet pressure. But when your kidneys are healthy, that space is quiet, still, unnoticed. And that's the point. The best kidney is the one you never have to think about. So if you're moving through your days without that mysterious discomfort, don't take it for granted. Celebrate the silence. It means your organs are at peace. Now that we've walked through the 7 signs of healthy kidney function, it's time to ask the bigger question. How do you keep them healthy? Because if you've recognized even a few of these signs in yourself, you're doing something right. And now, you have the chance to do even more through the one thing you do every day: eat. But not all food is created equal when it comes to kidney health. Some choices place an extra burden on your filtering system. Others quietly and powerfully support it. Let's start with one of nature's most kidney-friendly gifts: berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and cranberries are more than just sweet snacks. They're packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins, compounds that reduce inflammation and protect cells from oxidative stress. Why does that matter for your kidneys? Because every time your body processes, food toxins are released. And when your kidneys clean up those toxins, they face damage too. Berries help shield them. Even better, they're low in potassium, a mineral that can be dangerous in high amounts if your kidneys are already under strain. So whether you toss them into your oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or snack on them fresh, remember each berry is a small act of protection, a burst of flavor that also says, "I care." Next up, leafy greens. Kale, spinach, arugula. These are nature's multivitamins, high in fiber, magnesium, and plant compounds that reduce inflammation. But a gentle note of caution: some greens like spinach are higher in potassium and oxalates, which can be risky in excess for those with kidney issues. That's why kale often stands out. It's nutrient-dense but lower in potassium. You can sauté it with garlic, blend it into soups, or eat it raw in salads. Think of leafy greens as your kidney's best friends as long as you're mindful of portion sizes and variety. Then, there's the quiet hero in your fridge that you probably overlook: red bell peppers. Bright, crunchy, and sweet, these vegetables are high in vitamins A, C, and B6, but low in potassium. They also contain lycopene, an antioxidant that helps combat cellular damage. While tomatoes often get the spotlight, bell peppers offer many of the same benefits without the kidney risks. Try them sliced raw, roasted, or stuffed. Every bite supports not just your immune system, but the silent resilience of your kidneys. And let's not forget the humble apple. It doesn't scream superfood, but maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Apples contain pectin, a type of fiber that helps reduce cholesterol and blood sugar levels. Why does that matter? Because both high cholesterol and diabetes are major risk factors for kidney disease. When you stabilize these numbers, you lighten the load on your kidneys. So whether you eat it raw, bake it into oatmeal, or pair it with nut butter, remember, an apple a day might not keep every doctor away, but it can help your kidneys breathe easier. But kidney care isn't just about fruits and vegetables. Healthy fat matters too. That's where olive oil comes in, a gentle anti-inflammatory fat that supports vascular health and reduces oxidative damage. Use it as a base for dressings. Drizzle it over cooked veggies. Add it to whole grains. Every drop adds up to something bigger: cellular protection for the organs that never stop working. You've now learned about the signs. You've met the foods. But maybe the biggest message of all is this: your kidneys are worth noticing, worth protecting, worth loving. Because even if you've gone decades without thinking about them, they've been thinking about you, filtering, balancing, protecting, without ever asking for thanks. Maybe today is the day you give them exactly that. Now let's continue this journey, not just with facts, but with care. Because you've already seen how your body whispers signs of strength, how good urine color, steady blood pressure, healthy appetite, and clear skin all speak quietly of kidneys that are still showing up for you. And you've also met the foods that gently strengthen their work: berries, greens, apples, olive oil. But we're not done yet. Because what you eat matters, yes. But what you avoid, that can mean the difference between silent resilience and silent decline. Let's begin with the food. Most people forget affects the kidney's sodium. You already know that too much salt isn't great for your blood pressure. But what you may not know is that when your kidneys are healthy, they work hard to excrete that sodium. Every time you sprinkle salt on your food or eat a packaged snack, your kidneys go to work. But when the salt builds up, it creates a traffic jam. Your body retains more water to try and dilute it, your blood pressure rises, and your kidneys become inflamed over time. It's not about removing salt entirely, it's about removing excess. Start reading labels. Aim for under 2,000 millimoles of sodium a day. Swap salt for herbs like rosemary, thyme, and turmeric. And when you reduce sodium, you're not depriving yourself, you're giving your kidneys space to breathe. Another powerful change: embracing garlic. It's more than flavor. Garlic naturally lowers blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and even helps lower cholesterol. Plus, unlike many flavor enhancers, it doesn't burden your kidneys with excess sodium or potassium. Use fresh garlic in sauces, stir-fries, and soups. Roast whole cloves and spread them like butter. The healing starts in the kitchen, and garlic can be one of your quietest allies. Now let's talk about something most people wouldn't consider a kidney food: cauliflower. This cruciferous vegetable is low in potassium, high in fiber, and full of compounds that support detoxification. Unlike potatoes or rice, which are heavier in carbohydrates, and potassium, cauliflower can be mashed, roasted, riced, or turned into creamy soups. It fills you up without overloading your system. And the fiber. It helps your body eliminate toxins more efficiently, which means less pressure on your kidneys. Then we have one of the most debated foods in the senior health world: fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Here's the truth. These fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation throughout the body, including in the kidneys. They help lower blood pressure, protect against heart disease, and support brain health. But the key is moderation. 1 to 2 servings per week is plenty for kidney health. And when you bake or grill them with olive oil and herbs instead of frying or adding heavy sauces, they become a cornerstone of anti-inflammatory nutrition. Another subtle but important change is choosing plant-based proteins more often. Red meat, especially in large amounts, can strain your kidneys. It creates more waste for them to process and increases the acid load in your body. But switching to lentils, beans in moderation, tofu, and tempeh gives your body the protein it needs with less stress on your filters. If you can have one meatless dinner a week, you're already giving your kidneys a break. And here's something emotional that many overlook: hydration isn't just about water intake, it's about water timing. Drinking a lot of water all at once can flood your system, while consistent sips throughout the day allow your kidneys to filter smoothly. A tall glass upon waking, a few sips between meals. Herbal teas like dandelion or nettle can gently support filtration without caffeine. Your kidneys don't need gallons at once. They need steady support like the loyal organs they are. But here's the deeper truth beneath all of this. Your kidneys aren't separate from the rest of your body. They're part of a sacred system, a partnership of organs that support, depend on, and respond to each other. When you care for your kidneys, you support your heart, your bones, your nerves, even your mind. And as we age, that interdependence becomes more fragile and more profound. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just have to listen a little more closely to the taste of your food, the color of your urine, the way your shoes fit. These are the signs that your kidneys are still working in the background, asking for nothing more than quiet respect. In the final section, we'll wrap this all together. We'll reflect on the emotional weight of maintaining kidney health after 50, not just to prevent illness, but to preserve independence, mobility, and life itself. We'll also talk about small daily habits besides food that can protect your kidneys for years to come. Because it's not just about living longer, it's about waking up each day with the strength and clarity to live well. Now, let's bring everything together, not with more information, but with deeper reflection. Because this isn't just about kidneys anymore. It's about listening to the quietest parts of yourself. The parts that never complain, that show up for you every day, and that only ask for attention when it's almost too late. You've learned the signs of good kidney function, the steady blood pressure, the healthy appetite, the clear skin, the absence of swelling or pain. You've discovered the foods that nourish these powerful organs: berries, apples, garlic, leafy greens, olive oil. You've seen how hydration, protein choices, and even sodium awareness can either ease or burden your kidneys. But now comes the real question. What does all this mean for your life? Because health isn't about perfection, it's about partnership. And when you begin treating your kidneys not as background players, but as lifelong companions, you start to move differently. You don't just eat better, you think differently. You feel more in control, more grounded. You become someone who responds to small signals instead of waiting for sirens. And that shift, that's where healing begins. Let's explore a few final habits, non-food habits, that protect kidney function as you age. The first is deceptively simple: consistent sleep. Your kidneys, like every organ, follow your circadian rhythm. When you sleep poorly or inconsistently, hormones like cortisol spike, blood pressure rises, and kidney function suffers. But when you build a rhythm, going to bed and waking at roughly the same times, you create a predictable flow. Your kidneys get the rest and hormonal balance they need to recover. This isn't about 8 hours exactly, it's about respecting your internal clock. The next habit: gentle movement. You don't need to run marathons, but your kidneys rely on blood flow to do their job. When you walk, daily stretch, or simply stay active, you boost circulation. This helps deliver nutrients to the kidneys and clear waste products more efficiently. Even 10 minutes a day, especially in the morning, can help regulate blood sugar, reduce blood pressure, and support kidney health. Movement doesn't need to be intense. It just needs to be intentional. Now, let's talk about medication awareness. Many people over 50 take pain relievers, antacids, or supplements without thinking about the long-term effects. But certain over-the-counter drugs, especially NSAIDs like ibuprofen, can damage kidney tissue when used frequently. Others can raise potassium levels dangerously or interfere with filtration. You don't have to fear medication, but you do need to stay informed. Always check with your doctor before starting a new pill. Always ask if it's safe for your kidneys. Your awareness could make the difference between support and harm. Then, there's blood sugar management. Even if you're not diabetic, consistently, high blood sugar can damage the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys. If you notice increased thirst, frequent urination, blurry vision, or unexplained fatigue, check your glucose levels. Eating balanced meals, avoiding excessive sugars, and managing stress can all help stabilize your system. Remember, your kidneys don't just react to sugar, they suffer silently when it's out of balance. But they can also recover when you give them what they need. And finally, the most overlooked habit of all: stress reduction. Chronic stress raises your cortisol levels, tightens your blood vessels, and impairs kidney function over time. But small daily choices like 5 minutes of deep breathing, a walk outside, prayer, or a quiet hobby can calm your nervous system. That calm protects every organ, including your kidneys. Peace is not just emotional, it's physiological. And creating that peace isn't selfish, it's essential. So now you've walked this path. You've heard your body's signals. You've met the foods and habits that love your kidneys back. And maybe just maybe you feel something shifting. A bit more awareness. A bit more trust in your body. A bit more willingness to protect what's been protecting you all along. If you've made it to this point, it means you care not just about living, but about living well. And your kidneys. They've been waiting for that care, not with demands, but with faith. Faith that you would one day slow down, listen, and remember that even the organs you never see deserve your love. So, tomorrow morning when you wake up, drink that glass of water, not just for your thirst, but for your kidneys. Take that walk not just for your weight, but for your circulation. Choose that apple not just for the fiber, but for the silent system that filters every bite. Your kidneys are not asking for everything. Just a little more attention, a little more kindness, a little more you.